The white stone ceremony is one of Unity's most beloved traditions. It takes place at the start of each year, and it gives us a chance to go within, to envision ourselves growing in spiritual wisdom, and to let go of erroneous thinking about physical appearances, and finally to hear Spirit's guidance for us for the next phase of our spiritual journey. And that is the ceremony that we are going to do together today. This ceremony illustrates beautifully one of the great spiritual laws that governs our experience, the law of reversibility. Briefly stated, this law provides that opposites, cause and effect, energy and matter, action and reaction, are the same. Sort of like ice, snow, and water. And they can go back and forth. For instance, the human voice produces sound waves. And sound waves can be used in recording to reproduce the human voice. What you hear can start either with the waves or with the person speaking. In Hinduism, just to kind of give a little bit of insight, this is called the law of intention and experience. So the white stone ceremony intriguingly evokes this law on several levels. In preparing to hear or perceive communication from Spirit about our intended focus for the year to come, we're acting on an energetic level, opening the possibility of receiving from Spirit, in Spirit, a prompt, if you will. And then we make that prompt physical by writing it down, by taking that physical act of writing it. And we write it not on a scrap of paper. I don't know about you, but most scraps of paper with me don't last very long. But on a piece of stone, a piece of earth. And my experience with stones is they actually hang around for some reason. They're very grounded, if you will. And I've been attending white stone services for maybe 20 years now. And in a couple of places in my house, I have these little piles of white stones that are the map, if you will, of my spiritual journey over that time. So we are kind of playing in the white stone ceremony with that transition between a spiritual event and a physical reality. And we'll talk more a little bit later about how that works. Neville Goddard wrote a book in 1945 called Prayer, in which he calls prayer, quote, the master key to solve all earthly problems. And in making that claim, he cites the law of reversibility. He says about that law that reversibility is the spiritual and physical law through which all physical actions cause energetic actions. And energetic actions just as reliably produce physical experiences. The reversibility of energy and physical experience. You may perhaps have heard how Jesus invoked this principle when he was quoted in Mark chapter 11 as saying, "Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have it, and it will be yours." Jesus was citing belief, which is an energetic act, and physical experience, and the inevitability of that transformation being possible. The logic underlying that quote from Jesus' teaching is expressed in the law of reversibility. It's really not, totally off-the-wall magic. It is a law, an essential law, an inevitable law, as all laws are. When we are invoking the law of reversibility, we're working with feelings as the energetic prompt. This is because we don't necessarily know how to express in words what it is that our deepest desires are. But we can certainly go within, free ourselves from thoughts, and feel what oneness feels like. And for just about everybody, that is what we want at our deepest level, that feeling. And when we go within and generate that feeling, we will experience physically what makes that happen. Another, what I find interesting example of the reversibility, the transformation from one to the other of feeling and physical experience, is found in the many experiments that have been done now in psychology. And this has been embodied in dialectical behavioral therapy. That somebody who is feeling bad, feeling sad, will inevitably find that feeling change when they smile and hold the smile. I have talked to people who've been taught that, and they have used it, and apparently it is totally impossible to feel sad while you're smiling. You might want to try it someday. But that's a wonderful example of reversibility. That action, physical action, and feeling, emotional, spiritual feeling, are the same and cause each other. As we study the phenomenon of reversibility, we become aware of a great power that we have as humans to materially change reality by experiencing feelings. There is an experiment going on that's been going on for the last 10, 11, 12, maybe 15 years, called the Intention Experiment. It started with September 11th, 2001. And at various times across the world, large groups of people have been instructed to go within, to feel peace, and to envision that, to send that energy to a specific place in the world that is experiencing the opposite. It could be the streets of Chicago, it could be, Iraq or Afghanistan. All these places, this has been done. And in every single instance, the reported incidents of violence in whatever place was being targeted reduced by 40 to 50% while the experiment was going on. This is an amazing demonstration of the effect of feelings and thoughts on physical reality. So we're going to use this power today to ask Spirit for a guiding word to help us over this coming year to manifest more resonantly in our earthly lives the conditions and experiences that correspond to our deepest desires and feelings. One of the things that I've learned over time, participating in Whitestone services over at least 20 years, every year, has been that as I learn to trust Spirit, the words I've received have become more and more unexpected. So the first time I was in control and I was feeling awful and I wanted to learn about joy. And guess what? The word that came to me in meditation, I don't know where it came from, it may have come from my own will, but the word I wrote on my white stone that year was joy. And then I prepared several other years, wanted to manifest the word that related to one or the other of the 12 powers. And over time, I've learned to allow myself to be surprised. And the words have become more and more unexpected. And I just wanted to share with you the word I received in January 2016, last year. It was a real zinger. I did the meditation, I went within, I let go all preconceived notions, and I asked. Asking is really important for this. When you ask, usually the response comes very quickly. You need to expect it and listen for it. So I asked Spirit to give me a word that would really be helpful to me over the next year in following my spiritual path. And as soon as I asked, this word boomed in my brain. Pink! I was like, what? Pink? That's not a white stone word. And so I went back inside again and I meditated again and I said, Spirit, would you give me a word that will really be helpful to me this coming year? And this time my brain practically exploded with the word pink. Okay. I have hated the color pink all my life. Hated it. It was girly, it was frilly, it was superfluous, it was wishy-washy. It was a name for communists during most of my youth. It wasn't a real color. My word is pink. Okay, I said yes. I wrote it on my stone and kept it with me all year. And then I started realizing what an incredible, beautiful challenge that word was going to be for me. To let go my desire to control everything. To open up to the freshness and innocence I needed to change my attitude toward life. Pink challenged me to deepen my awareness and acceptance of my feminine side. It invited me to dance more freely with womanly ways of nurturing, forgiveness, laughter, helplessness, sisterhood. It pried me open to appreciating youth, newness, innocence, and to learning to live in wonder. Pink has, for the past year, been an exuberant, revitalizing voyage of discovery and deepening awareness. What a gift it was. So I can hardly wait to receive this year's word. How will Spirit invite me this year to move forward into my deepest desires? That hunger for love and joy that leaps and dances in my heart, but for which I don't know yet how to find words. Together, let us go within now to invite Spirit to present to us our individual white stone word or words for 2017. Before we begin, please make sure that your pencil or pen and your paper are handy. Now, I invite you to relax into your chair. Put things off your lap. Lean back. Relax into being held. Start breathing slowly in and out. In and out. In and out. Breath is spirit. In breathing in, we are receiving the loving energy of the universe. In breathing out, we are sharing Spirit's love with all other living beings. In breathing, we experience oneness. Just enjoy that knowing, that feeling, that being. We are one with all. Now, remaining in that sense of oneness with and through Spirit, prepare to receive the special word or name you will claim for this year as your special mission on life's path. Be prepared to sense Spirit's response very quickly after you ask. Just focus on your breathing until you feel ready to ask, focused and empty. And ask Spirit to give you your word or name for 2017. Empty your mind of all else but your awareness of breathing. And when you feel ready, ask. Now, I invite you to thank Spirit within for the gift of love and vision that you have received. Prepare to re-enter your physical awareness. When you feel ready, open your eyes, move a couple of muscles, and then write on your paper what you received. If you didn't feel you received anything, or you felt you maybe weren't quite ready to accept what you received, that's fine. When you're able to relax, later today perhaps, go into meditation once again, following whatever practices work best for you. And then once again, from your relaxed state of oneness, ask Spirit for your special word or name for 2017. Once again, expect that the answer will come to you very soon after you ask. And write down whatever word first enters your mind, however implausible it may seem. The next time you come to Unity Center of Peace, you may pick up a white stone upon which to write down your special word for this year. I envision each person who has participated in this ceremony feeling the loving support of Spirit in your deepest awareness. Let us thank Spirit for this amazing gift. Thank you, God. May you experience much peace, love, and joy as you take your special name forward into this year's journey. And so it is.